Good evening, everybody. Hello.
Good evening.
All righty. Let's see here. Okay. Got some more people signing in. I'm gonna wait a couple minutes. All right. Call these names out. Let me see. Jayla Armour. Laura Blackstock. Alice Bota. Adiva Brown. Chanel Burrows. Megan Carter.
Here.
Got you. Samara Daniels.
Here.
Got you. Jayla Davis.
Here.
Got you. Kelandria Dodd.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Got you. Sydney Graham. Nope. Sydney Hatmaker.
Here.
All right, got you. Chloe Jones. I think I saw you.
I'm here.
Got you. Jada Lanier.
Here.
Ashley Little. Kiana Littlejohn. Kiana Littlejohn. I think I see you. Can y'all hear me? Hello?
Yes, I hear you.
Yes.
All right. Kiana Littlejohn. I see your name, but no answer. Okay. Cameron McCain.
I'm here.
All right. LaStation Miller. Nope. Jermaine Mitchum.
Here.
All right. Nia Roberts. Chantel Shan.
Here.
Okay, I figured that was you on the iPhone. Courtney Shannon. Nope. Okay. Jaquan Smith. Daphne Smith Sanders. Jeremy Vick. And Tavis Williams. Okay.
Here.
Okay, I got you. Okay, today we're going to talk about just briefly about chapters 14 and 15. The second writing assignment was also posted, and it will be due tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. So make sure you adhere to that. And email, of course, is via email, and I prefer to I want it in either Word document or PDF. So let's see. Chapter 14 was essentially about sentencing and appeals. The overarching law that applied for the most part in that chapter was the Eighth Amendment. Just talking about proportionality and punishment. And also the chapter talked about the sentencing process a little bit. Of course, that law that applies there. We also talked about structured sentencing in that chapter. How in sentencing, of course, how to sentence a person, at least now, to alleviate the issue of biased or even or any other type. Racism or any other type of bias. They created structured sentencing, where the only things that are considered in at least on paper, the only things that are considered in the sentencing of a defendant is, one, their prior record, so how they look on paper, and two, the classification of the crime that they are convicted or that they're being convicted of. Crimes, of course, are classified either, of course, in North Carolina, we have misdemeanors, and we have a few classes of misdemeanors. You have class 3 all the way up to class A1. So you got class 3, which is at the bottom, class 2, class 1, and then class A1. Then after that, you step up to the felonies, and with the felonies, you have class I, class H, class G, class F, class E. So essentially the alphabet backwards, all the way up to C, B1, B2, and then A. So of course, the higher up you get, the more serious the crimes. So you got for misdemeanor purposes, you got your class 3 would be like a simple possession of marijuana, very small possession of a very small amount of marijuana. All the way up to assault on a female or misdemeanor assault inflicting serious injury. So that would be the A1 for the misdemeanors. For the felonies, at the bottom of the felony, it would be your class I felonies. Class I felonies will consist of usually like felony marijuana possession, even felony possession of cocaine or something like that. That's usually your possessions where there's no intent to sell and distribute. So essentially just having it. So getting caught with a crack rock on you, get you a class I felony. That's at the bottom. All the way at the top, we work our way from I backward, alphabet backwards up to A. When we get to A, that's what we're talking about: first degree murder and capital murder. So imagine yourself looking at a sentencing chart, and I don't know if I posted the sentencing chart. I have one on me, but from the top, at the top of the page, running from left to right, is the person's record. So whatever their record level is. So you have all the way from 1, which is no convictions, all the way to the far right of the page. Of course, the further you go right in those blocks, the worse the record is. So you have all the way from in misdemeanor, you have a level 1 all the way to level 3. And felony sentencing, you have level 1 all the way to level 6. So it depends on what chart you're on, felony or misdemeanor. Then from top to bottom, if you stay on the left side of the page, but start from the bottom, from the bottom up to the top, you have your classifications, your lowest level felonies, which is the I, all the way up to the A. And for misdemeanors, your lowest level being not level classifications, class I, all the way up to class A. And then for misdemeanors, you have class 3 all the way up to class A1. So what happens is, you have this, like this chart, and what you look at is the intersection of whatever that person's record is, where they land, and what the crime is. And there's and in that box where they intersect, that's where that person is going to be sentenced. So that's how structured sentencing goes. So within that box, you still have ranges. You have a mitigated range, a presumptive range, which is all things being equal or just in the middle, and then you have the aggravated range, where the sentencing within that box is harsher. So it didn't 100% alleviate bias, because bias, there's still room for bias, but bias from one case to another is maybe a matter of months. It's not like a person with the same record level and committing the same class of crime is going to get 20 years more than another person. So, if you're the same, if you fit in that same box, the differentiation between one person to another can only be a matter of months. It's not going to be anything big. But is there still bias that's shown? Yes, there is. But that bias can't hurt a person too bad. So that's structured sentencing in a nutshell. Of course, chapter 14 talked about a little bit more than that, but we'll move on. Of course, I have posted the lecture and the reading. Also, next we have chapter 15, counterterrorism. Now, I know a lot of people would be like, why are they talking about counterterrorism? After 9/11, one of the craziest things happened in America, of course, there was this mass hysteria over, and we were all scared, because I was, matter of fact, I was a junior in college when it happened. And I remember, like, we were shook. Like, we didn't know, it changed the way you go to the airport. A lot of you guys are too young to remember just walking into the airport and, not going through all that crap. Like, literally, I remember in high school, my brother was going to the military. We took him to we were at the airport seeing him off, and a whole bunch of us without a boarding pass got to walk right up to the gate and watch him get onto the plane. Like, that's not happening. And after 9/11, that's no longer happening. Like, you got to, the only people getting past a certain point are people with the boarding pass. So no longer had that. So it changed the way you get, we got on planes at that point. So with that, of course, we were at war or invading other countries. And in doing so, we kind of we were creating new laws to legalize things, and they were actually old laws that necessarily hadn't had to be enforced. But now, because of, can y'all hear me? It says my internet connection is unstable. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you were breaking up a bit though.
I was. How am I sounding now?
You're better.
Okay. So 9/11 changed everything, and of course, a lot of constitutional issues came into play because people were getting arrested for terrorism, and they weren't even in America getting arrested. They were overseas in Afghanistan, being flown across the waters and being held in Guantanamo Bay. So then it became an issue like, hey, these people are arrested, or being held, but they do have rights. If you're going to bring them to America to try them, so they weren't even being tried on war crimes like on it with the international tribunal. They were being tried for something that allegedly happened overseas during wartime, but they were being tried by the country they were fighting, which is weird. Being captured over there and brought all the way over. So there were a lot of red flags, but so a lot of constitutional issues arose, and there were a lot of lawsuits actually filed against the federal government and the Department of Defense. So out of that, there were a lot of new constitutional twists and things created to protect the constitutional rights of detainees. So that's what chapter 15 is about in a nutshell. So that's 14 and 15. Any questions? Hello? Y'all can still hear me, right?
Yes, no questions.
Okay. So that's chapter.
The assignment I'm sorry, the assignment is due tomorrow, 11:59, correct?
Yeah, the assignment's due tomorrow at 11:59. That's the writing assignment. And I know I went over some writing stuff last week. Anybody want me to go over anything again, talking about writing, or are you good?
We read in the IRAC, correct?
Yeah, IRAC or CRAC, either one. All right. Okay, there's Ashley Little signing in. Ashley Little, I got you signed in. You signed in right when we're about to leave. But so just it'll be on YouTube. You can just I'll post the link as usual. But if are there any other questions before we log out?
Our paper is due tonight, right?
No, they're due tomorrow night at 11:59.
Oh, tomorrow night. Okay.
Tomorrow night. That's
No,
good. You own it though. You can turn in tonight.
I am.
Usually,
I done came home, cooked dinner.
yeah, you look like you might be ready to get that thing off your hands. So it's cool. It's fine.
I am. It's gonna get done tonight. True.
Yeah, just email it to me. So the deadline is tomorrow night at 11:59.
Okay, cool.
If there are no further questions, going once, going twice. We're gonna hold on. I got somebody in the chat. Gotta pick that out. Yeah, I'm here, but my audio isn't working. That's Miss Little John. I got you. Who else? I got you, Miss Little John. I saw your name, so I got you. Yeah. All right. So I think that's it. Nobody's hit me in the chat, and nobody has questions. So y'all be good.
I actually do have a question.
Oh, you do have a question? Go ahead, Jayla.
I said I'll wait till everybody leaves. It's not about this class.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Take care.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Yes, ma'am, Ms. Davis.
Okay, so I registered for one of your classes next semester.
Mhm.
I'm trying to see which one it was. The 8 to 10 p.m. one. Are you going to allow for students to go virtually, or do we have to be there in person?
That's super weird because normally that is not a time that classes are offered. So I'm still trying to figure out whether that is going to be online. I am going to offer the online option if I do have to teach it in person. So I'm trying to figure that out as well. So I thought I was going to be 100% online. I don't know if there was a glitch, but it's weird having a class to start. So if you notice, that was 8 p.m. That wasn't like 8 a.m. So that's 8 p.m. That's super late for a class to be. You know, you're talking about essentially 8 to 10:30 at night, which is weird. Those are super weird hours. So I feel like it's still going to be online, or I can give you the option to do it online. I'm going to be teaching it online. I guess if the campus makes me show up once a week, I'll do that. But I'm essentially going to do it the same way I'm doing this class now.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to check in on that because I'm actually in Maryland right now. So I didn't know how the university planned on making that transition come spring. Corona's not going anywhere.
Yeah,
By
they're
January.
not even close to finding even a vaccine at this point. So I don't see next semester is not going to be much different if at all than this semester. So at this point, like I said, I just don't know. Because I saw that myself because I was looking, I was like, I wonder how my schedule is going to be next semester. And I was like, ooh, 10 8 p.m. to 10:30, that can't be right. So I'm thinking it is going to be,
Right.
it is probably going to be online. So I'm preparing to teach it online regardless.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, take care.
You as well, bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.